WZR Army. It is Tuesday, June 4th, 2013. Time for another edition of WZR Radio here on WZROnline.com. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone. We're going to be here for the next 2 hours talking pro wrestling. We got a lot to talk about. TNA Slammiversary from this past Sunday night and Monday Night Raw from last night. Two pretty good shows. One of them on Sunday night, Slammiversary, was probably the best pay-per-view of the year so far. So we're going to run that down. We're going to talk Monday Night Raw from last night. And live phone calls, rapid fire, in our numero dos. Matty Boone. It's cracking, brother.
What the problem is? Hey now, how we doing?
We're good, man. We got a lot to get to, man.
I'm so horribly unprepared this week too. I didn't see the pay-per-view on Sunday. I'm not even fully familiar with what happened. I got a rundown. I read a rundown, but I don't really even remember all that already right now. Now that I think about it. And Raw, I didn't get to see Raw last night either.
Yeah, surprise. Actually, you know what? You've been pretty good the past couple of months, man. You've at least seen Raw. And
I was gonna say, I was thinking about that earlier when I was thinking about like, God damn it, I gotta confess that I didn't see the show this week.
Yeah.
On the air to the Army. I was like, well, you know, it's been a long time since I've had to do that. And back in the day, it used to be assumed that I didn't see the show, and when I did, it was like shocking. And now it'll be shocking. Oh wow, he didn't see the show. So you know, I won't let it happen again.
So what do we got? We got a couple beers in you. We got some pot in you. What do we got this week? We got.
I just took an energy shot to make sure I woke up. But other than that, I'm smoking my slice.
Yeah. Let me tell you, 45 minutes ago.
It's been like WrestleMania season, bro. I mean, today, even yesterday. You know what? I figured we don't have to bring up the website or the name, but I thought you were helping him today because there was so many different, things up there, and I'm thinking Boone's got to be there. But then I remembered you didn't have a computer.
No, it wasn't it. Yeah, it had to be him and somebody else, or him by himself.
Well, yeah, dude, just nonstop. I mean, we've had, I don't know if you heard the big news, but Quentin Rampage Jackson signed with Bellator today, and of course, when you sign,
Are you serious?
Well, you know what when it's like the King Mo deal. When you sign with Bellator, you also sign with TNA.
Did he sign the TNA thing too? He's gonna do both?
Yeah, and not only that, but Dixie Carter came out just about an hour or so ago, and this Thursday he's live on Impact in person. So they're going.
Wow, wait till they do even though King Mo's lost a few times, wait till they do Rampage and King Mo. They got such a fucking history, dude.
Yeah,
that's
man.
That's gonna be awesome. Cause they're both very, very colorful personalities.
And Dixie, just a couple of days ago had said, the ink had dried on a contract, or the ink was just drying on a contract on a big free agent contract signing. So I'm thinking, I didn't expect it to be a talent.
Everybody's thinking about wrestling. Nobody's thinking MMA.
Well, you know what? I thought Rob Van Dam, right? Because he's a free agent, but I mean, he's out there working indie shows. He's got like 3 indie events that are coming up. So I figured maybe it was him that re-signed. And then I sent Dixie a tweet, and I said, Brian Urlacher, Chicago Bears. He's been in TNA before. He just retired from the NFL, which makes him, a free agent. So why not have him return, get some media attention from it? And Dixie sent me a message back, and it came to, my personal inbox, not a regular tweet. She sent it to the inbox, and, she said that would be a good one, which was, I mean, it's kind of crazy, man, because Vince McMahon's got Twitter, but, come on, dude, Vince isn't doing the tweets. Somebody's tweeting.
What,
for
you
me.
explaining why you marked out? Is that what this is?
I kind of did, man. I kind of did.
Basically, I'll just decode what you said. Basically, if you want me to translate, what you just said was, you gotta understand, dude. I marked out like a motherfucking geek because this is the president of the wrestling company.
Wait a minute. Did I not? Wait a minute. Did I not go on Facebook? Did I not go on Facebook the other day? And I said to all of these people on Facebook, I said to all these guys, I kind of marked out a little bit, man. I admitted it. I came out. I said it. I said it on Facebook. You know what I mean, dude? I mean, listen, Vince would never tweet anybody back or respond to a message. The president of a company. So they're gonna do a big media call tomorrow afternoon at 3:00. TNAWrestlingNews.com got an invite to that. So it's going to be Kevin Kay, the president of Spike TV. Quentin Rampage Jackson is going to be there. Dixie Carter is going to be there, and Bjorn Rebney, the CEO of Bellator, is going to be there. So it's going to be all four of them on a conference call tomorrow afternoon. So we're gonna participate in that, and see what happens. We've got the call-in number and everything else.
Long story short, Dixie Carter will tip me.
Oh, Jesus, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. So anyway, we got that was the big news that came out today, and then we had TNA Slammiversary, the Hall of Fame announcement, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna run down Slammiversary and Raw.
Yeah, I heard the last knockout standing match, or whatever, was bad as shit too. Sunday night. That was really like they tore the house down.
The last knockout standing, yeah. That was, dude. I'll tell you what, dude. It was one of the best women's matches that I've seen in forever.
That's what I've been hearing. Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, well, you need to check out that entire pay-per-view. I mean, it was easily the best pay-per-view of the year. WrestleMania wasn't all that good this year, but Slammiversary, man, they killed it, man. On Sunday night, it was like every man. The only thing was it was a little bit predictable at times, but the wrestling, the show as a whole was off the chain, dude. And TNA, I'll tell you what, man, I've watched Impact the last couple of weeks, and it's good, man. It's not the TNA that I was used to just a couple of months ago, or even a year or two ago when I tuned in and I was like, oh man, dude, this is shit. This is cheesy. It's not bad, man. Impact is on a roll lately, and not only that, dude, but like, we're gonna get into it. I wrote it down in my show file, but it's like you got all these people out there that like want Ring of Honor to fail and want TNA Impact to fail, and if they do fail, I mean, you're left with WWE. So competition is a good thing. I mean, Jim Ross came out on a blog today and said it best. Why would anybody want TNA to fail? Why would you want, even I had one guy tell me, well, TNA's not competition to WWE because TNA's ratings are 1.0 and WWE's at 2.6 or 3.0, and they're not competition. Listen, any wrestling company, whether it be Ring of Honor or Wrestling is Art, which draws 200 fans, is competition. It's a wrestling company against another wrestling company.
Well, and even if it's not competition, look at it from the business side. It's still another place for the guys to go get paid and work and make a living being a wrestler. You know what I mean? There's only so many places you can get a job like that to where you can actually do it full time for otherwise you're working at McDonald's trying to be a wrestler on the side. It's not gonna work.
You had the Raw rating came out last week, right? And it drew 2.8. But I mean, the excuse was
Memorial Day, right?
It was Memorial Day, right? So there was kind of an excuse. Everybody goes out. They go camping and they come back and it's late Monday night or even Tuesday morning, so they get a pass for Memorial Day. It came out today, right? And listen, understandably, you had the Miami Heat, Indiana Pacers that went to Game 7 last night. Not only that, but you've got the NHL, which NHL, even though it's the playoffs, they're not drawing good ratings at all for playoffs. But you had a Game 7. It was a huge game last night. So WWE, I mean, obviously they knew they were going to take a hit from that, but I don't think they expected a 2.6 or a 2. Actually, it was rounded up to a 2.7. So that's not the goods, man. 2.6, 2.7.
Last night's Raw got a 2.7?
2.66 rounded up to a 2.7.
I was going to say 2.7 and it was rounded up. You're being generous. God damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it was bad. And not only that, but they tried to counter it they knew that. I mean, listen, they knew going in that the NBA Game 7 was going to take away a lot of fans, so they opened
Well,
up.
that's what I was gonna say. They usually when like last week they had that record low, whatever, but it was Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Usually what they do is they have the McMahons return to TV, and they can take the credit for the rating bouncing back, even though it's just
Right.
all right. Well, now it's not a holiday Monday, so the ratings are gonna bounce back nationally anyway. But if we come back, we can take the credit. The same shit Hulk Hogan used to do all the time back in the day. So they come back, and you're telling me the rating drops even lower.
Well, they
That's not a holiday.
they opened up with, Stephanie McMahon came out to open up the show. So big return Stephanie McMahon, and then Vince comes out, follows her out, and then in hour number 1 they did this whole angle with
How
Vince.
Stephanie looked, by the way. I didn't get to see it.
Stephanie looked good. She looked real good. She looked better than ever, to be honest with you, man. She's hot, man.
I've always dug her, man. Always.
I'll tell you who looked great at Slammiversary, man. Some photos came out. Not only that, but she came out and appeared on the paper. Dixie Carter, man.
Don't say, she wrote to me. She's so pretty. She wrote to me.
Dude, you're telling me Dixie Carter's not a hot-looking woman? She's hot, man.
For an older chick, yeah, she definitely looks good. But come on, man, we were talking about Stephanie McMahon just now. That's a piece of ass. Dixie Carter's a hot older chick.
Well, listen, man, they're both milfs, obviously. You know what I mean?
Wrote to me.
Yeah, you're gonna do that all show.
Every time you bring up Dixie Carter for fucking obvious reasons, yeah.
All right.
It's obvious. You got probably notes different in your little show file. Like make sure to put over Dixie Carter in this segment. Make sure to put it over in this segment.
All right. I won't bring up Dixie Carter anymore. Anyway,
I didn't mean to do that.
Get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com/chat. I should do it, Ranjit. I should pull that fucker up. You know what I mean? But people bitched and moaned last week. It was like, you know, sometimes I tell you, like, all right, you do the joke once or twice, and then by like the 4th or 5th or 6th time, it gets old after a while. Well, if you viewed the feedback thread on Facebook last time, everybody was like, all right, dude, enough of the Boone rap, enough of the fucking, we all live in a submarine, because we did it like 6, 7, 8 times. And you're already, like the Dixie Carter thing, you've already done it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm sure, because I got to talk about Dixie one more time when we get into Slammiversary, so I'm sure we're going to be up around like 6 or 7. We're going to get that feedback again, you know what I mean? So we got to kind of, we got to like...
First of all, you take a breath, you count to 10, you calm down. Second of all, you said...
I'm calm as a motherfucker.
We're going to talk about who when we get to Slammiversary?
You go with it. Go with it. Do your joke. I ain't even gonna bring up it. Do your joke. Go with it, buddy.
Who are we going to talk about?
We're gonna talk about fucking. I gotta listen before. Wait a minute. I need to get up my soundboard here, dude, because I got a lot of good shit that I could have countered that with. With fucking exactly, dude.
You're not creative enough to just say some shit back. You gotta have your little sound drops and shit.
Why does the soundboard? That's the problem, man. The soundboard takes like 10 minutes to fucking load here.
It's Matt B.
Well, look, I got my soundboard up right here. Let me press this button.
Me and Ryan T. kicking it live in hour 3, minus 60 minutes to the limit, like John Cena's title spinning. No one battle me, I'm winning. No matter what you say. Now let me finish with a simple. Oh yeah!
Oh yay! Get the fuck out of here, dude. All right, so listen, man. That's what we got to do. Let me get the plugs out of the way. Then we got to run down the pay-per-view and Monday Night Raw from last night. First of all, one quick question before we move on. I know there's an issue down there. You didn't want to come on here. You didn't want to talk about it last week, so I won't bring that up, right? But I do want to bring something else up, right? And if you don't want me to bring it up, you say stop and we'll move on, right? But you don't have a computer right now. And there's a reason why. I want to know, like, were you involved or was somebody else? I mean, what happened?
There was a fight on Saturday night in my apartment. That's what you're alluding to. Yeah, I'm not willing to talk about it. It's not a great story, unfortunately. It sounds cool as one sentence, but I say my computer got broke during a fight Saturday night in my apartment. That sounds pretty cool.
Well, that's the text message that I got. That's the text that I got that there was a big fight in your apartment.
It's a true statement, too. It's a true statement, and it sounds cool all synced like that. But when
right.
you elaborate and you say, me and my sister were yelling at each other, and she was fucking hard. We were drunk, and, it was like a really intense argument, and it got physical. Like, I had to grab her and, like, shake the shit out of her,
Really?
She pushed me, and when she pushed me, I took a step back and stepped right on my fucking laptop, which was on the and crunched it. So.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, now it won't fire up now. So
wow.
I take to a repair shop, you know?
So you finally blew up, huh, man? It finally happened.
There's a whole fucking story. That's
all right.
not what I'm talking
all right.
about. There's a whole story behind it. Yeah.
All right, no doubt. I was wondering where, because I've been doing galleries. I've been working my ass off, man, doing the news, doing the galleries.
I was so fucking bang. I was so goddamn ready to work too, man.
And you know what? Listen, I came on here last week and I said, guys, give me 10 minutes, right? Let's give you 10 minutes where I come on here and explain, WZR, what we got to do, advertising rates and everything else. I got a surprise for you, brother. If you'd get to work, the month of June, right? We are unbelievable this month, dude, as far as ad rates are concerned. The first 4 days of June. And not only that, but they're going up, brother. I've been the last couple of days, so I was saying
I got this special gig I can give you for this month if you can get your shit back, and I got to do the in-house thing. I got to sign the contract ASAP. I got all this shit to do, and no fucking computer to do it with. So yeah, but no, I can pay this week, this Friday, and I'll get it fixed in, and then I'll be back to work, and I'll go nuts.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good month, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a great month as long as we can get some traffic, man.
It stays that way. Like it's not just a fluke. Like it's not just a 1 month or 2 month spark. You know what I mean? Hopefully it stays.
This is gonna make up for last month, man. We're off to an unbelievable start, and rates are rising, which is crazy good. You know what I mean? Now we need some traffic. Like today, traffic's terrible today, and it's a Tuesday. It's the night after Raw. Stephanie McMahon returned.
You said it was so busy. Usually when it's busy like that, a lot of people.
No, and traffic is just not there. Like Sunday night, it was really good for the TNA pay-per-view because I own a TNA website, so for TNA pay-per-views, I do great on those Sunday nights, and Monday was really good yesterday, and then today it's gone, nobody's around, it's crazy, So, yeah. So anyway, all right, here we go. Let's get these plugs out of the way, and then we're gonna run it down. TNA Slammiversary from Sunday night, Monday Night Raw, hour number 2. We're gonna be taking the live phone calls and doing the rapid fire segment. The official website of WZR Radio, WZROnline.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as well. Go to Facebook.com/WZR Army, YouTube.com/WZR Archive. And Twitter, just go to WZROnline.com, top navigation bar, drop down menu, social media tab. It's got all the links to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Big thanks to Dino UK in the chat room. Owns his own radio show, BWR Radio. He gave you guys an archive last week, put it up on YouTube, and Daniel put it up on the website. So big shout out to him. Really appreciate you doing that. Daniel was on a break for Memorial Day last week. He'll be back this week. So we've got an archive for last week. We'll have another one for this week. Go to WZROnline.com and everything, all the links are over there. My weekend, there was no boxing, there was no UFC. It was kind of quiet around here, It was hot, man. But for the next 7 days, 70 to 75 degrees. Perfect. It's supposed to rain this weekend, but anyways, nobody cares, right? Whatever.
When did, how long ago? I guess that's old by now. I was saying, talking about weather, I was going to try and squeeze in an unbelievable reference. And then it reminded me that sometime in the recent past, you put up a video of like tornadoes or some kind of weather shit on Facebook, and I commented, "Was unbelievable. What's going on with the weather? What are you fascinated with now? What are you following? What's going on?"
Dude,
you gotta check it out. This is nuts.
It was
unbelievable.
It was unbelievable, brother. I'm telling you. I got videos up, but once again, the videos don't do it justice. We had a mini.
Are these Ryan Clark exclusives, or are these like CNN videos?
No. These are Ryan Clark exclusives. I put them.
Do you have any commentary on them? Let's hear them.
No. I tried to avoid the commentary because everybody made fun of it last time. So this time I was out there, I was silent. But no, we had a mini tornado up here. By the time it got here, they said it was on the ground for 17 miles, and right before it got here, about 5 miles before it got to my house, it wimped out a little bit, but the spin was still there, and you could see that in the videos that I put up.
17 miles?
It was on the ground for 17 miles. It was
somewhere around mile number 3. I had to kick his ass for 2 seconds.
There it is. I knew I was gonna get that in there somewhere. But yeah, no, it's pretty crazy because we don't get tornadoes up here. I know down south and Oklahoma and everywhere else. Man, those poor people in Oklahoma, they got another one. They had a bunch of storm chasers that passed away too. I mean, they just get nailed down there, man, every spring. It's so sad to see everybody, all those people that spend,
All
150,000.
these fucking extreme weather tragedies keep happening. It's really it's weird.
And
There's
then
something going on here.
well, and then hurricane season started just in the last week or so. I think last week was the beginning of hurricane, and they're predicting, an above normal season. So, and that's what you got to watch.
The Pineapple Express. They said, I thought hurricane season was over.
No, but that's what you got to watch out down there, man, with hurricanes and everything else. But we don't. It's so hilly up here, You get tornadoes on flatlands, But we've got all the hills and mountains up here, so it's really rare to see a tornado, especially one that was on the ground for 17 miles, and that was last week. So it was pretty crazy up here. But, anyways, all right, we'll move on. It was a quiet weekend though. There was no UFC, there was no boxing. There wasn't much going on. It was quiet.
What's the next UFC? I can't even think off the top of my head.
It's June 16th, I want to say, man, is the next one. I think it was supposed to be Shogun and who was it? Shogun and somebody, right? Overeem?
It was supposed to be Shogun and Little Nogueira.
Right.
And then it was going to be Shogun and Chael Sonnen, they were saying.
Yeah, but Sonnen has visa issues,
also,
I think.
Wait, maybe the next one, Rashad Evans and Dan Henderson is the main event of something. I think that might be the next one.
All right, that's June 15th. Yeah, you're right. In the chat room, the Sandman in the chat room, June 15th is the Evans and Henderson. That'll be a good fight. I'm picking Henderson.
That's a good fight. Yeah, that's a real good fight. Two wrestlers that have knockout power in their hands. So Evans and Henderson. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick for that?
I always tell you, man. There's three guys in the UFC that I will not bet against them, and those guys are Antonio Bigfoot Silva. I know he just wound up losing to Cain Velasquez, but Dan Henderson is another one, and Nick Diaz is the other one. They are the three people in UFC. I know Nick's not there anymore, but I won't bet against Dan Henderson just because his last couple fights, man, he's been killing people. He's been knocking people out. And I know he's going against Rashad Evans.
Other than Dan Henderson, who might have like an even record in the UFC, the other two guys you never bet against, I think they have losing records in the UFC, so that shows how intelligent you are there.
Well, I'm just saying, man, Dan Henderson's been on a roll as of late, man. He's been knocking people out left and right. I'm not going to bet against him.
He's taken the Randy Couture. He did that so far into his 40s, and he was so competitive at the high level into his 40s that it seemed like nobody was ever going to be able to do what he did. And now Dan Henderson is well into his 40s, and he's doing more impressive shit, I think.
Yeah.
Than Couture. He's knocking cats out. I mean, he's knocking them dead, and that's more impressive, I think. And it's sustaining. He's doing it to Fedor heavyweights, champions, and yeah, he's a bad motherfucker.
Fuck you, punk! I'll fuck you! I'll fuck your sister, but not your wife, because I respect your wife.
Yo, did you see the?
Not your wife.
You see the Iron Sheik came out. Actually, you didn't see it because you don't have a computer. But yesterday, a video came out with the Iron Sheik, and he goes on about Amanda Bynes and Justin Bieber and all these celebrities. I fucking hate you, you piece of shit, you cocksucker. Blah blah blah. He rants and raves on a couple of celebrities. Yeah. Actually, it's only.
He just went to the. He just had another roast, Iron Sheik roast out there WrestleMania weekend. He was at that.
Sheik did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got you know what? I've actually got the Iron Sheik thing here. Check it out, man. And it starts right about.
Iron Sheik, who rose to fame in the 70s and 80s and would become the WWF World Heavyweight Champion, has found fame recently as an internet phenomenon due to his hilarious and oftentimes vulgar updates. The legend recently sat down with Machinima ETC for an exclusive interview, and to humble a few celebrities along the way.
Amanda Vaughn, whatever your fucking name is, you are douchebag, no good son of a bitch. You like to have sex with everybody. I think you are fucked up. You are a piece of garbage. You are not intelligent. Go fuck yourself.
I am here with the legend, the Iron Sheik. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you, sir. How are you?
It's incredibly humbling to be sitting with you right now, a man of your stature and just a world champion. It's incredibly humbling. I'm very happy to meet you, and I'm excited to have you on.
Snoop Lion, you are the real man like Iron Sheik. You know how to have a good time. You know how to have a party, just like legend. I'm a legend. You're the legend.
So now with the younger generation, they know you through social sites like Facebook and Twitter. Tell me a bit about your Twitter.
I love my Twitter. I love my Twitter friends, and I love to make the people humble. Chris Brown, you're not man enough so you can be a man, because the man beat up his girlfriend and all country way. He's not good man, he's a jabroni, and you are one of them. Justin Bieber, I know you are new generation. I know you did pretty good, but still you get excited and you are all of the place. You're not Elvis Presley. You're not even Aaron Sheik. You're jabroni. A couple of weeks ago I saw him. Everybody boo him because you really turned to be jabroni. I really don't care about you anymore.
So now you're basically crowdfunding a documentary on the legend of the Iron Sheik, your story. And it's going to be crowdfunded, so fans of yours can go on the links and they can donate to make this happen.
Well, I love my documentary and I love all my fans, and I appreciate it if they can help me to make it, and I'll be happy, and all the fans gonna be happy.
It's an incredible story. I'm excited to see it play out in the documentary.
That fun. You are the real good people. I love to have a party with you guys and have a good time because you guys are real good people. LeBron is gay, but still I have a lot of respect for it.
We were very excited to have you. I hope everything works out with the documentary, and good luck on the Twitter. I will enjoy reading it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good night, and go fuck yourself.
Fucking Sheik, man. He goes crazy. The video's up on the website. It's WZROnline.com. Check it out. It's it's a video where he's sitting there and there's.
I think I made out every fifth or sixth one he said. I can barely understand any of that.
Right. All right. Let's.
Respect Justin Bieber.
He says, LeBron, you're gay, but you are a good player, or something like that, dude. All right, so here we go. We got about 15 minutes apiece. We'll run down TNA Slammiversary and Monday Night Raw from last night. Like I said, our numero dos, taking your live phone calls and doing the rapid fire segment via my Facebook page. Get to our live chat room, WZROnline.com. Ooh, let me try that again. WZROnline.com. /chat, WZROnline.com/chat. Lots of people in there, as always, tonight. Get in there. Good people. I gotta talk about some people on Facebook, man. It's like one thread up there where these guys are arguing back and forth about, Jim Ross made some comments about TNA. I brought it up earlier where he says, why would anybody want TNA to fail? These guys are going back and forth. Last I checked, it was like 490 different replies. I'm sure it's close to like 600 now, but they're just, they're like there's this one guy on there that's just raging, bro, where my God, dude, it's pro wrestling, dude, you know what I'm saying? Chill out. Calm down, But anyway, so go check it out, facebook.com/RyanClugWZR. Alright, here we go. TNA Slammiversary from this past Sunday night. Overall thoughts, I know you didn't see it, Boone. I thought it was a great pay-per-view, top to bottom. Everything on here was really, really good. In my opinion, pay-per-view of the year. I know we're only in June, so we're about halfway through the year, so we got a ways to go. But just a really, really good pay-per-view from top to bottom. They kicked it off. It was the Ultimate X match for the X Division title. It was Kenny King against Chris Sabin against Suicide in a three-way. God damn it, man. What are you doing? Where are you? That's Boone texting. What happened? Okay. You ready? You ready for this, WZR Army? I get a text message from Matt Boone. Taking a shit. Don't go to me. Make fun of it if you want. So I get a text message during a live show that says, taking a shit, don't go to me, I'm not there, make fun of me if you want. Fucking Boone, you're right, fucking Boone in the chat room. So he leaves me dead. He figures, I didn't see Slammiversary, so now's the perfect time for me to go take a shit and let Ryan be on his own and do WZR Radio and run down Slammiversary. Man, you are a fuck. Wait till he gets back, man. Wait till he gets back. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to run down Slammiversary. from Sunday night, right? They kicked it off, like I said, with the Ultimate X match. Here's the problem I have with Ultimate X, right? These guys get up there and they get on the wire, and there's not much that you can do when you're up there on the wire. Like, you can't do any crazy spots. I mean, it's like my poop just killed 5 minutes is another text from Boone. They get up there on the wire, right? And they can't do anything. Where, you know, these guys will climb across and they'll get towards the middle to where the title's hanging, and then somebody on the in the ring will just pull them down, and you know, it's like a 5-foot drop and nothing happens. So I don't know. That's the only problem I have with Ultimate X. It's not like you can, unless you're like an acrobat, you know, and you can get up there and you can tightrope on the wire and do like an enziguri or something off the rope, which would be an insane spot that nobody could do, and they would never risk that because obviously somebody could come down and land on their neck, you know what I mean? So there's just, I don't know, there's not much you can do, but it was a great match for what they did do. The funny spot was after the match, Kenny King was up there and you know, pulled down the title, and when he jumped back to the mat, the title came down, popped him on the forehead, and that's where he got busted open. We put that on the websites. It wasn't during the match, it was after the match when he jumped off, when he had the title belt in hand and dropped down, and that's where you know, the blood came from. And then after it was over, they took him backstage and had to get him stitched up. But it was a good way to kick off the pay-per-view. The crowd was hot. They were in Boston. Seemed like a pretty good crowd for that area. So like I said, a good way to kick off the pay-per-view. Then Hulk Hogan comes out, right? And basically, this is, as I put on Facebook, this is the definition of, they call it a rub in pro wrestling, where got a guy, you know, a veteran guy, like a guy like The Undertaker will put somebody over like Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan will beat The Undertaker. It's the veteran giving the rub to a younger guy. It was the same thing here with Hulk Hogan coming out and cutting that promo about Chris Sabin. You know, he's the future of the business and he's going to be a star, and you know, he's the one that should have the title. It's the definition of a rub, where Hulk Hogan is just basically doing everything in his power to put this dude over. Problem I have with it is, what was up with Hogan and the whole Mr. Sabin, Mr. this, Mr. that, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Sabin's like, yo, dude, it's not. And the problem with Hogan promos is, listen, it's not the 80s anymore. That same old Hogan promo, it's like the same John Cena promo. Well. Wait, you flush the toilet? Is that what that was? What was that? Did you guys hear that? What was that? I think he...
I almost dropped the phone in the toilet, trying to make sure you heard that flush.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were trying to flush the toilet. Yeah,
I feel like a new man.
You feel better, dude? We have this problem all the time, bro.
I can make welterweight now.
What do you, like, you can't, you gotta feel, like, you can feel a poop coming on, right? Like, you can feel...
No.
What, it just comes out and you're like, yo, I gotta go.
Lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
I'm lactose intolerant, and I had a bunch of pizza yesterday, so that was actually a pretty painful experience just now. There's no way I was going to be able to talk and do that, so my apologies.
Well, it's all right. I got your text messages, and we made fun of you for a little bit on here.
That's
but...
what I said. I figured I'd give you some material to work with while I'm taking a shit. There you go.
So, you didn't have to come back and flush the toilet live on Ray. I mean, we already knew you were trying to take the shit, you know what I'm saying?
I just did that to be a dick.
Yeah. Well, Boone being a dick, get out of here. No way. Get the fuck out of here. All right, so listen, man. I'm talking about Hulk Hogan, right? We got through the Ultimate X match, right? And then, you know, the definition of a rub is when a veteran guy comes out and basically puts over the younger upcoming talent, right? So he comes out and he's just Mr. Sabin, you're the future of the business. He kept saying Mr., right? So, anyways, Sabin disappears at some point after, you know, a complete endorsement by Hulk Hogan. And we have Ken Anderson, Garrett Bischoff, and Wes Briscoe wind up coming out to the ring to confront Hulk Hogan, right? Sabin disappears. He's just takes off, goes to the back, right? So Anderson, you know, says that the aces and eights are here and they're about to steal the show tonight. And Hogan decides to go all rated R on us here with his promo and basically says that, the three of you guys, talking about Anderson, Garrett Bischoff, and Wes Briscoe, are three pussies wearing leather, and talks about, to Eric Bischoff, he says that you're a bitch, and your father's a bitch, and your old man's a bitch, and everybody's a bitch, and you're all pussies, and this, that, and the other. I mean, Hogan went full fucking rated R on us, during this
because
promo.
of the pay-per-view, I guess he tried to show a little edge or whatever.
Yeah,
because
he's trying to
do that. I remember back in the early days of TNA, I think it was the weekly pay-per-views, they would specifically cut, and I think there was even a little nudity in the beginning, or real sexual-related innuendo and references, and all. They tried to take advantage of pay-per-view in a way that wrestling has never done before. Like, well, we can do whatever we want. I mean, porn is pay-per-view. Let's dial it up on that.
Right.
The other thing I had to ask you, I didn't hear if you referenced this. What was up with Hogan's hands? Did he have, was he wearing a cast or gloves or
Yeah, he had like white gauze tape over the top of it,
Because you haven't told anybody what happened. If they only listen to the radio, they don't even know what happened with his hands.
Yeah, it's up on the websites. He got in a boating accident. Basically, the radiator or something like that blew up on the boat, and he was on TMZ Live and talked about it. A week or two ago, but man, those photos were pretty graphic. We've got them up on TNAWrestlingNews.com. Yeah. So it's basically Hogan. The problem I have with Hogan is the whole brother and dude and everything else. That promo is it's like the John Cena corny promo where it's just, we've seen it time and time again, and it's not the 80s anymore, Hulk, and I think that's what Hulk was trying to get at with the cussing and the pussies and the bitches and everything else. Hogan was trying to, step it up a little bit, but he still did, you're a bunch of pussies, brother. What do you think about that? Your old man's a bitch, dude. You know what I mean? It was Hogan, but he was trying to give it, like you said, a little edge to it, a little bit edgier,
I would have marked out just to hear him be edgy but still be Hogan. I think it's perfect. The way you just did was awesome.
I hate it.
I'm gonna kick your fucking punk ass pussy brother.
Yeah.
It's just great to have him brother and dude.
I don't know. I hate Hogan's promos.
I'll kick your ass in 2 seconds, brother.
I hate Hogan's promos, dude. I can't stand him, man. I don't know. It's something about it. It's corny, bro. It comes across as corny the way that Hogan's delivered, but it's Hogan. You're used to it by now.
What's he gonna do, brother?
Yeah. So anyway, Hogan winds up setting up a match. It's going to be right now. It's going to be Garrett Bischoff, Wes Briscoe, and Ken Anderson, who, Hogan's in the ring. He's going back and forth with them. He brings out Samoa Joe, Magnus, and the returning Jeff Hardy here. It was a pretty good match. It was kind of booked on the fly. It wasn't advertised going in. We knew that Jeff Hardy was going to return during Slammiversary. Dixie Carter had hyped that up. The finish of the match had Magnus, come off the ropes and hit a big, elbow drop on Garrett Bischoff. Samoa Joe was on the outside with Ken Anderson choking him out on the ramp, and then Briscoe used a low blow on Magnus and went for the pin, but Hardy came to the top rope, came off, hit the swanton, and the team of Samoa Joe, Magnus, and Jeff Hardy were able to pick up. It was a pretty good match. They had, this is where a little bit obvious here, Joseph Park, right? They had him backstage. Joseph Park is Abyss, obviously, you know what I mean? It's just two different characters that the same guy is playing. So Joseph Park is backstage, he's hyping up his match later tonight. It's Joseph Park against Devon, and, Devon and Mike Knox come up from behind and they take out Joseph Park. So the commentary team is, oh my God, what's going to happen? We're not going to see Joseph Park versus Devon. Is Joseph Park going to be able to come out here? Is he going to be able to face Devon later tonight? It's your obvious sign that, of course, no, they took out Joseph Park, which then in turn sets up the return of Abyss to come out, and that's exactly what happened later on in the night. We had kind of the filler match. It was Sam Shaw against Jay Bradley. This was the gut check thing that they've been doing. The winner of the match goes, and they entered the Bound for Glory series that they're going to be doing on Impact. They kept it short. Sam Shaw looked pretty green. it's clear that he's not ready to go yet, and that's probably why they had Jay Bradley pick up the win. But it wasn't bad for two gut check guys that both of them don't have very much experience in ring. It was decent. It was decent. This is where we had Devon and Joseph Park for the TV title. Park's music, Devon comes out, Joseph Park's music plays. Of course, he never comes out, so Devon grabs the microphone and tells the referee, listen, count to 10. If he doesn't come out, ring the bell, I win the match, right? So, referee does the count to 10. And this is where I'll give TNA a little bit of credit, because if it was WWE, you know what would happen? The referee would count to 10, and right before he got to 10, they would have Abyss's music hit, and Abyss would come out, right? Well, in TNA, they went all the way to the 10, and then the bell rang, and then Devon got back on the microphone and said, see, I told you Joseph Park wasn't coming, and if his brother Abyss was here, I'd kick his ass too, and then that's when Abyss's music hit. But
that's clever though.
But they led people to believe that, wow, you know what? We counted to 10, and he didn't come out, and the bell rang, and you're thinking, all right, maybe the angle's over. It's the same thing that they did on Impact with AJ Styles the previous week.
It's the same thing they did. I mean, shit, Abyss is basically Mick Foley. I mean, Mick Foley had the Mankind gimmick, and then he had Dude Love and Cactus Jack and Mick Foley, all these different personas he could choose from. Abyss only has one persona, but he's still got the two different personalities that are completely different characters.
Right.
And I remember the time they introduced Cactus Jack to WWE for the first time against Triple H. They had, I think it was Mankind music play while Triple H was waiting for him, and then instead of coming out, you see him on the big screen, and then he talks to Dude Love, and then he talks to Cactus Jack, and Cactus Jack comes out. So you think, oh, Mankind's not coming out, he's dodging him, and then instead it's just his different character, which is what they did with the Joseph Park and Abyss thing.
We had
They look alike too, Foley and Abyss,
They do, a little bit,
A little bit.
We had Dixie Carter. She comes out next, and she basically thanks everybody. 11 years of TNA. They're at Slammiversary. She brings. There it is. I knew we were gonna get to that. I was hoping you were gonna forget, dude. I was hoping you were gonna forget. No. All right, we'll get it out of the way. We get it out of the way. You got it out of the way. We all good? You motherfucker, man. So anyway, so Dixie Carter comes out, right? She brings out the entire TNA roster.
Before or after she talked to me?
Yeah, oh man. All right, so Dixie comes out, right? She brings out the entire TNA roster. She's about to reveal the second TNA Hall of Fame member. It was Sting last year. They do it every year at Bound for Glory. They only induct one person per year, and she announced that Kurt Angle was going to be this year's inductee into the Hall of Fame.
I heard this was real cool, this whole Kurt Angle thing at the pay-per-view.
It really was, man. They aired, Angle went to the ring, gave Dixie Carter a big hug, and Dixie said, look up at the big screen, and they aired an awesome video package. We put it on the website, TNAWrestlingNews.com. Just an awesome video package, Kurt Angle, what he's done for TNA. After it was over, Dixie Carter's on the microphone, and, she's saying, Kurt, we're glad to have you here in TNA, da-da-da-da-da. And the whole crowd is, thank you, Kurt, thank you, Kurt. And the problem I have is Dixie needs to know that when the crowd is chanting, almost the entire crowd, thank you, Kurt, thank you, Kurt.
Shut up.
Stop talking. Stop talking and look to the crowd. Look around when the chants get going.
Let them make that moment special and
she just
let it
kept
speak for itself.
Yes, make it special, man. She just kept talking and talking and talking and talking, and the crowd's thank you, Kurt. You could barely hear Dixie over the crowd.
Who was she talking to? Was she talking to me?
Via Twitter. She was talking to me via Twitter. Woo, woo, woo. So anyway, but she wouldn't shut up, man. It was like, Dixie, shut up. Just let the moment sink in. You know what I'm saying? But
I heard there was like other wrestlers out there, right? And shit. I heard, right?
Yes, the entire roster was up on the ring.
I heard Sting was out there, and then like almost immediately after that, they showed a video of Sting arriving to the building or something. So like, I guess it was a little continuity continuity.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 continuity error there.
Right. Yeah, they brought out the entire
Like,
roster.
He's standing there, and then immediately afterwards, like, oh, and now Sting is arriving, everybody. But he was just in front of everybody a minute ago.
Yeah. They so Kurt gets a promo and basically, said there's a lot of guys in the dressing room that make him look good, and he specifically mentioned AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, and James Storm. He said TNA's got the best roster in the world, and he said that this company had changed his life. It was
I was going to ask you because when I heard about him in the Hall of Fame and everything, maybe you'll have to ask the chat because you might not know off the top of your head. How long was Kurt Angle in WWE, and then how long has he been in TNA so far? Because it seems to me that his TNA run might be as long or longer than his WWE run was.
I would say at least what, TNA's been around for 11 years. I'd say Kurt's been there for at least 8, 7.
When was it when I lived with you? Because remember he debuted when I was there. Cause we marked out like motherfuckers when that American flag opened up and shit. We were like, holy fucking shit,
All right, they're saying that Kurt debuted in TNA in 2006, so that would have been what, 7 years
ago.
7 years ago. Okay, so 7
years. And then
years.
he debuted in WWE in what, 99?
Was 2000? Everybody's doing TNA for right now. So 2006. So we know that he was in TNA for 7 years.
Yeah. He was in WWE for 6 or 7 too. So it's exactly the same or a little bit more TNA.
Yeah, we're getting 99 in WWE. So about 7 years for each company. Yeah.
So, wow. It doesn't seem like it. Now look. Go through your head and try and think. I'm talking major moments.
Yeah.
Stuff that you could picture, like him moonsaulting off the cage in WWE on Benoit. Shit like that. The King of the Ring with Shane Van Street fight where he's throwing him through the glass. And
remember the milk truck on SmackDown in WWE.
Shit like that. How many moments can you think of in WWE with Angle, major shit like that, and then think of his TNA career? How many moments can you think of? Because I'm looking at his TNA career in my head, even though I didn't watch as much. I'm still aware, and I catch big shit when it happens. I can picture the debut as a huge moment.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's really just like a bunch of great matches. There's no like, oh, remember when he did this awesome, or this awesome thing?
No, he did something. He did something off the top of the cage in TNA too. It was, I think it may have been the same thing he did in WWE, where it was a backwards, it was a backwards moonsault off the top of the cage in TNA. I remember that moment.
He headbutted Samoa Joe when he first came in. I remember that was pretty cool.
He's had some moments in both companies, more in WWE. You're right.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
You're right. There's more in WWE, I would say, but I mean, there's been some moments in TNA with him as well. The Hall of Fame's a big moment that you're gonna remember. I know that just came up on Sunday, but yeah, it was really.
Hey, he's so goddamn talented. It seems like he's wasting his career. You know what I mean? In the B League.
Here's one thing. Everybody was saying, well, why Kurt Angle? Before we move on with Slammiversary, everybody was saying, well, why Kurt Angle? And I think the main problem was everybody was saying Jeff Jarrett and AJ Styles. Here's the deal. Jeff Jarrett, I understand he's the founder of TNA, right? Sting's only going to be around for a couple more years before retirement, right? Kurt Angle only probably going to be around for a couple more years before retirement, right? Jeff Jarrett isn't retiring, has no plans to retire. And not only that, but Jarrett brought Jarrett. All right, but Jarrett brought everything that he has right now on himself. If Jarrett didn't go out and do what he did to Kurt Angle and basically steal his wife, this wouldn't have been a question right now, and maybe Jarrett would have been in the Hall of Fame. But Jarrett brought everything upon himself. Then people are saying, well,
I'd rather have the broad.
All right, but wait a minute. All right, so then we'll go to AJ Styles. Why not AJ Styles? Right now, listen, AJ Styles is a fairly young guy. He's going to be there for years to come. AJ doesn't want to go to WWE. WWE's offered him a contract. He doesn't want the full-time travel schedule. There are going to be years, in the coming years, AJ Styles for sure is going to be in the TNA Hall of Fame. But right now, it makes no sense to put the young guys in right now. People say, well, the TNA originals.
The young guy. AJ Styles, you don't want to think of a Hall of Famer as a still young, active, one of the top young talent. You don't want to be, it's supposed to be something near the tail end of their career.
Exactly. AJ Styles will be a TNA Hall of Famer, but not right now. It makes no sense to put him in right now.
As far as Kurt Angle only has a few more years left, I hate to say it, he seems like one of those guys that's never going to go away. I got at least 10 more years.
He's one of the guys that talks about always going away and hanging it up in a couple more years. But you're right. You're right.
He never will.
He won't. You're absolutely right, man. He'll be one of those lifers. You know, he's gonna come back when he's 50 years old and still be going. You know,
he's gonna be so punch drunk and broken down. Especially because of his style. When he retires, he's not going to be able to move, man. I mean, look at Bret Hart, people like that. They had styles that were considered aggressive and shit like that for their time. Fucking forget about it, man. Angle's just crazy. He's going to be a fucking cripple his whole life.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So, I mean, listen, the younger guys, it makes no sense to put them in right now. Like Boone said, he brought up a great point. You don't want to put guys that are in their prime right now in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame is basically for people that are about to retire, that are towards the end of their careers. They've had a long career. You put them in the Hall of Fame. That's what it's there for, right? Not guys that are in their prime. And Jeff Jarrett, listen, the dude will be in the TNA Hall of Fame. I guarantee you, man. TNA only puts one guy in per year. It's not like they do an entire class. So Jarrett will be there, man. But Kurt Angle and Sting, they're two big names that have really helped TNA out over the years. So it makes sense to have both of those guys in there. And like I said, Jeff Jarrett, his time is coming, man. It may be next year, maybe the year after, but his time will be coming. We had the tag team match. It was Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez against Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, against Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, against James Storm and Gunner. It was a good match, not off the charts, but the whole idea here was they tried to make, I mean, Gunner is clearly in for a big push. They tried to put him over a big time. He kicked out Austin Aries' 450 splash at one point, got out of a torture rack. Actually, the finish was James Storm hit the super kicked Austin Aries, and Gunner got the submission with a torture rack. So Gunner wound up getting the pin, or the submission, if you will, wound up winning the match for his team. They got big plans for James Storm and Gunner. The knockouts, last knockout standing match. This was probably, to be honest with you, match of the night, man. Up until this point,
Who was in the match?
It was Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell. A lot of people, I mean, listen, we knew Taryn Terrell as Tiffany in WWE. She used to date Drew McIntyre. Remember they had that incident in the hotel? It was like a domestic dispute. She wound up getting fired over the domestic dispute. Drew McIntyre is still there, but Tiffany wound up getting the boot for that whole thing that went down. She goes over to TNA, and we didn't really know much about her as far as, in-ring potential. I am telling you, this was, like a hardcore type match. The finish of the match, I mean, throughout the match, it was just, dude, every spot just seemed so nasty. And it wasn't like, you know how divas and knockouts, there's a lot of botched spots all the time, man. You see it all the time. There wasn't any of that in this match. The finish was an ace crusher, which is Taryn's finisher. It's basically like a bulldog from the ramp down to the floor, which was nasty. Oh my god!
They hit hard too. Yeah, I heard they really did it. Like they really
did.
They were, like you said, hardcore.
There were holy shit chants, and there were this is awesome chants throughout the match at numerous points throughout the match. Man, probably one of the best women's matches I've seen in years, man. Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
yeah, like the old days of Trish and Lita, where you knew the work rate was going to be insane.
Yeah,
and they had like
exactly.
Ivory and Jacqueline, people that weren't maybe good to look at, but you knew the matches would be good.
We had AJ Styles. I mean, coming off the knockouts match, that led us right into the two main events, man. AJ Styles and Kurt Angle. Come on paper, AJ Styles.
I heard that was
Kurt
amazing
Angle.
too. Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
it was awesome. The whole story during the match was, Angle had a taped up left knee. From the spot on Impact where AJ Styles, attacked him first and then went after the aces and eights. But so AJ Styles, wound up working the left knee throughout the match, and just unbelievable, dude. Awesome. I mean, you knew going in.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, fucking unbelievable, brother.
This is not unbelievable.
I got it, man. It was right there.
Yeah, all right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was it was good stuff. And then the main event of TNA Slammiversary, we had Bully Ray and Sting. This was a no-holds-barred match for the TNA title. Started off as pretty much a regular pro wrestling match, and then towards the end, the only problem I had here was, you know how TNA main events work, dude. There's always
They
interference,
overbook
right?
the shit out of the
They
finish. Is that what it was?
overbook the shit out of the finish every time, dude. So you had the aces and eights came out. Of course, it's no holds barred, anything goes, so that's legal. The aces and eights can, of course, come to the ring. They start throwing in weapons. At one point, Garrett Bischoff, Wes Briscoe, Doc, and Knox ran in. They broke up the pin at one point. There was a cool spot where basically somebody threw Bully Ray a knife into the ring, or like a razor cutter, and he cut open the ring and lifted up the ring mat inside the ring, and it revealed plywood, 4x4s, whatever's underneath the ring. You know what I mean? Beneath the ring mat, there's 4x8 pieces of plywood. So those were exposed, and they cut a promo earlier in the night where Bully Ray said, there's one move in pro wrestling that has always been kind of banned. You can't do it, and that is the pile driver. You know what I mean? Where there's like an unwritten rule in wrestling that it's such a dangerous move that, it's kind of banned, whether it be WWE, TNA. In WWE they banned it a couple of years ago with The Undertaker, the Tombstone pile driver, So Bully Ray had exposed the 4x8s and hit the pile driver on Sting. The problem I have is, alright, you've got an exposed ring, right? You're hitting a pile driver on plywood on an exposed ring. I mean, that's like damn near death. And Sting winds up...
Well, there's a million logistical... I mean, the guy pulled a knife out. If it's a real fight and a real match and you're trying to beat the guy and win, and you've got a knife in your hand, why are you going to cut the ring up and then pick him up and slam him on it? I would just stab the shit out of him with a knife.
Right. But the whole story... Ring psychology. Right, but the whole storyline going in was, I got to hit this pile driver, right? Got to hit this pile driver. So anyways, he exposes underneath the ring mat where there's 4x8 pieces of plywood, and he hits the pile driver on Sting. And you're thinking, all right, that's like damn near death. And Sting winds up kicking out of it, bro. He kicks out on the fucking, and you're like, come on, man. You know what I mean? I mean, there's times where in TNA, a match will end with a finisher. You know what I mean? Somebody hits a finisher and the match is over. Not only that, but a roll up or something like that, and the match ends like that. You hit a fucking pile driver on an exposed ring, and the dude kicks out. I mean, come on, man.
That's what I was going to say. So how did they actually finish it? Because what was the point of going to that much trouble for a false finish?
They finished it when somebody on the outside threw in it was a hammer, right? I mean, Devon threw in a chain. Sting was able to intercept that, hit Bully Ray with it, and then Ken Anderson threw in a hammer. And, Sting was on the top rope, and Anderson throws Bully Ray a hammer. So Sting comes off the top rope, and Bully Ray hits him with a hammer. I mean, basically, the aces and eights ran out, and they had all sorts of weapons. And they're throwing them into the ring, and they're, pulling the referee out from making the cover. Sting had it won almost, a couple of different times. The aces and eights kept fucking it up. So Sting goes to the top rope. He's almost got it won. They throw in a hammer to Bully Ray. Sting comes off the top rope. Bully Ray hits him with the hammer and gets the clean pin. 1, 2, 3. Hit him in the head with a hammer. So that's the way.
They went to that much trouble for just a straight false finish. There was no.
Right.
You said they built up that spot, I guess, before the pay-per-view. Was like a storyline about the pile driver.
Bully Ray cut one backstage promo and said, like I said, there's that one banned move in pro wrestling. It's the pile driver, and you can't use it. So I'm going to use it on you tonight. That was the whole.
So it's just a creative thing to do in a match. No real.
Right. So it was a little bit overbooked at the end, especially with Sting kicking out of the pile driver. I mean, why not end it there, right? End it there, where if you're gonna hype up, I'm gonna hit you with the pile driver, expose the ring, expose the plywood underneath the ring mat, hit the pile driver. If you're gonna have Bully Ray win anyways, End it
That's
there.
What I was gonna say.
Hit the
His thing
pile.
was going over, I could see, because, well, you can't finish it there because he's not supposed to go over. But if Bully Ray's going over anyways, and you got him doing that spot, that's where come on, that's where the crowd needs to fucking blow their wad, and that's that.
There was no need to go beyond that. Have him hit the pile driver on the exposed ring, on the plywood, and end it there. There was no need to have Sting. I mean, it was basically to get the crowd pop. Oh my God, Sting kicked out of the pile driver on the exposed ring mat. You know what I mean, or on the plywood. And then, and then they go an extra 2 or 3 minutes, and they end it with a hammer shot. You know what I mean? It was basically just for the pop of Sting kicking out of that crazy spot of the pile
for the holy shit moment. It was for the holy shit. I can't believe.
That's what it was. So it was a little bit overbooked, but overall, an awesome pay-per-view. If you guys didn't catch Slammiversary from Sunday night, you should really go check that out, man. It was really
not just because the pay-per-view was awesome.
Because Dixie Carter tweeted me. Yes, he tweeted me. Yay! You fucking cocksucker. Get out of here. We're going to a commercial break. You're listening to WZR Radio with Matt Boone and Ryan Clark. We'll be back right after this. And we're back, WZR Radio, here for hour numero dos. I'm Ryan Clark. He's Matt Boone. And we're going to be here for one more hour talking pro wrestling. You guys can hear the theme song in the back of me. We're going to be talking Monday Night Raw from last night. I also put the rapid fire segment up on Facebook.com/RyanClarkWZR. Forgot to plug that before we went to commercial break. So go submit your questions. Facebook.com/RyanClarkWZR. Like I said, we're going to be talking Monday Night Raw from last night and taking your live phone calls, answering rapid fire questions. Matty Boone, we are back.
When is the I'm in here. When is the you thought I was gonna be taking another big shit, or you didn't know what was going on? Huh?
I said, Matty Boone, we are back. I was hoping you were here.
Oh, okay. Well, you never know with me sometimes, especially when we're on a break.
That is true.
You mentioned earlier, I already forgot. Rampage conference call. When is that?
That's at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon, dude, you gotta call me. I want to hop on there. I don't have a computer, so that'll be something to listen to.
Well, you can. I can give you. I got the.
I know. Just give me the number and and I'll call in on my cell and listen with you.
You can. All right. Yeah. Because I've got the number and then the number that you have to press.
To have questions.
Right. Yeah, I've got the presser. So yeah, I'll give you that tomorrow, and we'll figure it out. But it's at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Like I said, it's gonna have Bjorn Rebney, Dixie Carter, Quentin Rampage Jackson's going to be on there, and Kevin K, Spike TV president. So it's going to be the four of them.
And Rampage should make it interesting. He's always fun when he's talking to the media. He's always interesting to listen to.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. So we'll be taking live phone calls. Just hold off on your phone calls for just a couple minutes. We're going to do the high points and the low points of Monday Night Raw. We won't go through the show from top to bottom, but overall, I mean, like I said, Slammiversary was a great show on Sunday night. Monday Night Raw last night. I mean, listen, last couple of weeks. I mean, it's not like some people on Facebook were saying you're a TNA mark. In recent weeks, you're a TNA mark. I hadn't watched TNA in, God, I don't know, maybe a year. You know what I mean? And the last time I watched it wasn't all that good. I've tuned in the last 3 weeks, and it's been a really good show. So I'm giving it a chance every Thursday night. But on the flip side,
because it's so different and it's not as cartoonish. I was thinking about
that
earlier when I was a kid. Everybody that liked wrestling was in the WWF. You know what I mean? If you even liked wrestling at all, you were in the WWF. You didn't even nobody even knew WCW, or if they did, they didn't like it or they didn't give a shit about it. One or the other.
Yeah.
But me, I was always a WCW fan because I was a real wrestling fan. Like I was a fan from birth. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with it. So by the time I got to that age, I was like so sick of WWF. It was so played out to me that I saw this WCW and I started watching it, and it was like so different than WWE, and it wasn't as cartoonish and geared towards children that I really became a huge fan of it, more so than all my friends, where I can see that being TNA these days, where WWE is so cartoonish and aimed towards kids that real wrestling fans probably love TNA.
Well,
they probably love it, man.
And you can see, I mean, the ratings, I mean, TNA ratings come out, a 0.9 or a 1.0. I think a lot of people don't even give TNA a chance, where they are WWE for life. They're stuck on WWE.
I think it's not to interrupt you too many times, but I think it's just that the general fan base for wrestling is nowhere near as large as it used to be. That when it breaks down, you got 3 million wrestling fans, and about maybe half of those like TNA, and then the whole bunch like WWE.
There was a time, years back in the Attitude Era, where I remember reporting stuff where the Raw rating come out, and it would be like a 5.6 or a 5.8. I mean, it was way up there.
It was in the 7s.
It was in the 6 and 7, almost close to 7, man. I don't remember 7, but I remember 6. I remember the 6s,
no,
right?
It got in the 7s.
Did it?
7s, man.
Well, and now, I mean, you're going from the 6s and the 7s all the way down to a 2.6 last night, or a 2.7 last night. I guarantee you.
Oh my God, what is SmackDown? The SmackDown barely hits 2 million, right?
Well, SmackDown's at like a 1.7, 1.8 these days.
Yeah.
So TNA's
2
not
million
all.
viewers.
TNA's
man,
not.
God
I mean, everybody compares the TNA ratings to Monday Night Raw. It's like WWE draws the 3.0 and TNA draws a 1.0. If you compare TNA to the SmackDown rating, I mean, it's like a 1.0, 1.1 to a 1.6, 1.7. They're pretty goddamn close, to be honest with you, as far as Impact versus SmackDown. But everybody loves to compare the WWE Raw rating to the TNA Impact rating, which is kind of, it's unfair. But I guarantee you that if WWE were still drawing 6.0s and 7.0s, I guarantee you TNA would be in the 2.0s. It's a time where wrestling as a whole is way down. I mean, you're going from 6.5 to 2.5. I mean, come on, man. If WWE, I guarantee you, if wrestling was still as popular as it was, 10 years ago, TNA would easily be in the 2.0s, 2.5, somewhere around there, where WWE would be up in the 6.0s, 6.5s. You know what I mean? It's just
with the numbers and the general enthusiasm as a whole dwindling the way we're talking about right now with wrestling in particular and WWE specifically, I can't believe they're talking so much about this goddamn WWE network. It seems like the worst time to put all your eggs in that basket and take a risk of that magnitude, because it seems like it's destined to flop and fail, big time.
Yeah, it's just a different era, you know what I mean? And it's tough for TNA in an era where wrestling right now, as far as ratings are concerned, are at an all-time low for WWE. It's tough for an upstart company, not really an upstart, they've been around for 11 years, but WWE ratings continue to drop. TNA's ratings aren't going to go up when the main company in the United States, when their ratings are dropping, that's not good news for a company that's trying to build up and increase their ratings. You would hope that if people are tuning out of WWE, they would go over and check out TNA. I mean, listen, I was the same way. I didn't check out TNA for the last year. I've been checking it out the past 3 weeks, and I really like what I see. And then I saw Slammiversary on Sunday night, great pay-per-view. TNA's on a roll. But on the flip side, I've watched...
All you need is one major hook, major angle, one major superstar, something major enough to get people like me, not that, I have to put myself up, but people like me to turn the damn channel and say, I have to see what the fuck this is.
But you know what? What would it be? They brought...
I do that, and I noticed that the rest of the product is also... that quality, and I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of where it's at.
All right, but they brought in Hogan, and they brought in the Aces and Eight. I mean, they're trying desperately. Hogan, Sting, Aces and Eight storyline. They're doing everything possible. It's just a bad time for pro wrestling right now.
Different, man. They got to revolutionize. There's got to be another, and they're still doing everything that they did to make WCW pop in the mid '90s,
right?
And that's not going to work right now. That was 20 years ago.
What would work?
And they keep trying the same shit,
What would work? I mean, listen, TNA. When you watch Impact against Monday Night Raw, it's a completely different. I mean, TNA is a lot more edgy. As far as like older fans, if you want an edgier product, I would go watch TNA. But if you want WWE, you want the John Cena, your typical corny John Cena promo, or you want Brodus Clay and Tenzai out there dancing.
What's TNA doing that you've never seen before? Because there are examples, like the NWO popped WCW because it's never been seen before. ECW that popped the wrestling business in general because it was something so completely different. They got to come up with something like that on that level, an ECW revolution, an NWO revolution, something so fucking different and awesome that everybody's like.
Well, it's hard to do. I mean, it's hard to bring. Spike TV has restraints that TNA is only allowed to do certain things, where they've got to abide by Spike TV's rules, and they can only. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, there's not. we could sit here and talk about it all day. It's a lot easier said than done than just talking about it. You know, and that's the problem. I mean, you get these people on my Facebook page and in the comments section where they're better bookers than everybody in TNA and WWE. I guarantee they could book a show for maybe a month, and then it'd be a fail. You know what I mean? People think that they can do it better than everybody else. It's real easy to type something on a computer and then to actually go out and do it. You know what I mean?
Well,
so
I think the real problem is you can come up with one, maybe two cool ideas, but to come up with ideas for everybody, mid-carders, jobbers, tops, and then to do it on a consistent weekly fucking basis,
yeah.
and also to handle and to tie in, because you got to remember when they're doing these creative things, sometimes they get notes from other departments like, hey, this guy's character has a mask. Make sure to tie in that, that way we sell more masks, and
All
make
right.
sure to tie this.
Hold on.
So we can sell this.
Hold on 1 second. Caller, you're live.
Hey, how you doing, Ryan? It's Kurt. How's it going?
Hi, Kurt. Can you do me a big favor?
Sure.
Listen to the show, and when I say call back in a couple of minutes, we'll be taking your live phone calls in a couple of minutes. Don't call over and over and over. So, Kurt, in about 15 or 20 minutes from right now, call back when we take live phone calls, and I will gladly pick up your phone call. Trying to be a nice guy.
I thought you were going to leave it on and let him respond to that. Man, you just dressed him down like a child.
And here he comes. And here he comes. And he calls right back. And he calls right back. That's he calls right back. It's like, yo, after all of that, dude, and you call right back. Come on, Kurt. I'm trying to be nice, dude.
Well, what happens is he didn't hear any of that because of the delay. He's probably a new caller that thinks he has to call in to get put on hold like most radio shows. He doesn't realize we have one line.
So, all right. Hey, Kurt, can you do me a big favor, brother? Can you do me a big favor, Kurt?
Kurt is.
All right, listen, dude. We don't take live phone calls right now. So in about 15, 20 minutes from right now, can you do me a favor and call back, and I will gladly take your phone call. Sound good?
I apologize. I thought you guys were an hour too.
Oh, not a problem, brother. In about 15, 20 minutes, we'll be taking live phone calls. You call back. You're the first one on here, brother.
Sorry, man. Appreciate it.
All right, you the man, dude. Talk to you in a couple minutes. I'm a nice guy. See, I'm a nice guy. Now, no, that was Boone. Yo, motherfucker, I told you, 15 or 20 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? All right, so Kurt, who, you? Yeah, you, motherfucker. All right, so about 15, 20 minutes, Kurt's going to call us back, and we're going to get to his question. But in the meantime, we're going to run down Monday Night Raw from last night. So check it out. I mean, listen, dude. Wait, maybe he's calling. You know what it is? Maybe he's calling us live, but he's not listening to the show, because on the websites we put up the phone number. Some people feel like, all right, hour number 2, I'm going to call up, but they're not actually listening to the show. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what it. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. All right, so check it out. Right, we opened Monday Night Raw from last night. Stephanie McMahon comes out. Obviously, Game 7, the NBA playoffs, they're worried, man. They knew that they were going to take a hit with the ratings last night. So, they bring Stephanie McMahon out. She comes out, and she says, basically, in the interest of my family, Triple H, is... A couple of weeks ago on Raw, he basically collapsed during his match, and in the interest of her family and their kids and her husband, she is not going to allow Triple H to compete on Raw tonight. The crowd boos, and Vince McMahon comes out, and he says, listen, I agree with her. First and foremost, don't boo my daughter, because she's right, and Triple H isn't going to wrestle tonight, and it's for his sake, and we're not going to allow it to happen. So that's the whole gist of the promo. Stephanie and Vince, they care about Triple H. He's part of the family. They don't want him to get further injured, and he will not be wrestling tonight. So the Shield's music hit, and they start coming out through the crowd. And as this is happening, Michael Cole on commentary says, oh my God, the Shield's coming out. Come back, find out what happens. And they go to a commercial break. It's a smart move, okay? where they go to a commercial break. You've got Vince and
They
Stephanie.
should do that on every single commercial break.
Right.
I don't know why they don't do it. But especially they have more reasons for that WWE app now. Because in the old days, you would do that because it gives time for people to talk and be like, hey, you got to turn this on and see what's happening, you know.
So
and nowadays it'll give people a reason that I got to hurry up, go on the app and see what's going on because I'm missing it. It's on commercial.
So
there's multiple reasons.
Everybody on my Facebook says you got to be kidding me, man. A commercial break right now, and I'm trying to explain to these people that listen, they're leaving you with a hook where they're going to a commercial break. They can kill a couple of minutes, and they got you thinking, wow, Vince and Stephanie are in the ring. The Shield is coming out. Is the Shield going to attack Vince and Stephanie? I got to stay tuned. I got to keep it locked in to the USA Network to find out what's going to happen after this commercial break. It's all for ratings, is what I'm trying to explain to these.
Don't discount the app because they're really trying hard to get people to that app. And what better way to get people to go to the app than go leave a huge cliffhanger into the commercial?
Right. So they come back from the commercial break, right? And we've got the Shield is in the ring, and Vince and Stephanie are gone. And Michael Cole comes on commentary, and he says, we're happy to inform you that Vince and Stephanie made it out of the ring into the backstage area without any confrontation. So it was basically, we got you, motherfuckers. We left you with a cliffhanger. We took it to commercial break only for you to come back.
Everything you just said. So everybody who did what you said and WWE and didn't turn the channel because WWE left with his truth, they got fucked. Because when they came back, they stayed tuned for no fucking reason.
Because we stayed tuned just to find out that when they came back from the break, Vince and Stephanie made it out of the ring. Everything's perfectly fine, and we've got the Shield in the ring. And then
we could have switched the channel to Sports Center, and we wouldn't have missed a fucking thing.
You wouldn't have missed a goddamn thing. So to cover that up, where there's basically no climax, if you will, right? There's nothing. They go right into a big tag team match. So you've got the Shield against Randy Orton, Kane, and Daniel Bryan. So they did deliver a big match, but the whole cliffhanger was what's going to happen to the McMahons when we come back from the commercial break. And that whole thing was, motherfuckers, we got you. The McMahons made it out fine. But we are going to give you a big tag team match to kind of make up for that. And they gave it a bunch of time, too. So the first half an hour of Monday Night Raw was bang. You've got the McMahons and then a big tag team match. And it was all for ratings. That's why they did it. They went to a commercial break like we just talked about. They left you with a cliffhanger. You come back. They didn't deliver, but they give you a big tag team match instead.
Itself, not delivering, is kind of a cliffhanger for the rest of the show. Now you're
right.
Well, what the fuck's going on with the McMahons? Why did the Shield come out? Maybe we'll find out more as the show goes on. Maybe.
Exactly. So we had once again, man, every match that the Shield is in, whether it be a pay-per-view or Raw, another great match with Orton, King, and Daniel Bryan against the Shield. Of course, the Shield picked up the win here. They're not going to have them lose on Monday Night Raw. Not only that, but the whole thing is the Shield has never lost as a group. You know what I mean? So it was a great match, man.
Well, yeah, they got rid of the undefeated thing, so that's not a problem. It's not a handicap. But I think they just limited to having them lose when there's a reason, not just have them lose because they can.
Right. So so the Shield picks up the win. I mean, at one point, Randy Orton hit an RKO, and I think it was Seth Rollins, and the crowd popped like, oh my God, the Shield's gonna lose. They did the near fall with Randy Orton hitting the RKO, but then Roman Reigns would come up from behind and would stop the count, wouldn't allow it to
Did they cut the ring open and do a pile driver for no reason, or
no, none of that, you know what I mean? No. They plugged a contract signing for later tonight, CM Punk and Chris Jericho. CM Punk, obviously, I mean, they're going to hold his return off for the pay-per-view. You're not going to see Punk on Raw not until the Payback pay-per-view. That's the whole thing. You got to order the pay-per-view to see CM Punk's return to WWE. But they did. They plugged a contract signing. Paul Heyman, CM Punk's representative, and Chris Jericho for later tonight. I'm trying to. We got to.
Real quick.
Yeah.
CM Punk, like you said, has been gone for a couple weeks. Come back, blah 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 blah. I think because he's so over with the fans, he's such a cult favorite. I think because he's been gone for as long as he has, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I think when he comes back, it's going to be hard for him not to be a babyface. He's going to be over like a motherfucker, and I think it's up to WWE to either go with it and try and turn him into a huge babyface and go with the momentum that's already there organically, or they're going to have to really be creative to keep him a heel because the fans are going to want to cheer him.
Well, I mean, listen, WWE Payback, the place that he's coming back is in Chicago, so it's his hometown, and I think the whole storyline here is CM Punk's going to wind up coming back at Payback, and of course, like you said, he's going to be a babyface. It's in his hometown of Chicago, and he's going to wind up turning on Paul Heyman, saying, "What are you doing, bro? You don't make matches.
Why are you volunteering me to fucking fight shit when I'm injured?
Right? You don't make the matches for me. Who do you think you are? You know what the fuck? What are you doing?" And he'll wind up He'll wind up turning on Paul Heyman, and that'll turn him into a babyface in Chicago.
You got Brock and Punk in the summer. That's beautiful.
Well, and then you've got Heyman with Curtis Axel. You could do CM Punk versus Brock at SummerSlam. You know, Paul Heyman will say, "All right, Punk, you want to turn on me? I'm gonna go get my other client, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk at SummerSlam. That's the headliner for there." You know, CM Punk being a babyface, Brock Lesnar being the heel, and then Curtis Axel will still be alongside Paul Heyman as well. So I think that's...
So you can do it the other way around, have him do Axel, and then if he gets past Axel, now you got to get through Brock.
Well, like Glenn says in the chat room, they'll do Curtis Axel versus Punk at Money in the Bank, and then they'll do Brock versus Punk at SummerSlam, right? Each of Paul Heyman's clients, one first, and then Brock at SummerSlam. That's probably what they're going to wind up doing, you know. That's how it'll go down. We had Daniel Bryan, who was basically the star of the night last night. You know, there's a backstage segment. Daniel Bryan's all pissed off. You know, they had just lost to the Shield. So Daniel Bryan basically he's blaming Kane, he's blaming Randy Orton. It's never his fault for you know, being the loser. So he says, you know what? Later tonight, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna do a second match, and I'm gonna prove to you guys that I'm not the guy that is screwing us over all the time. It's you guys. It's Orton. It's Kane. It's never his fault that they're losing all of these matches, right? It's basically a Daniel Bryan heel turn, and Kane's trying to play, you know, Kane, who's always been, you know, way out there, you know, just a crazy lunatic, is being the straight guy. Like, dude, nobody's blaming you for losing. What are you talking about? You know, Kane's like the normal one, and Daniel Bryan is you know, the idiot these days. So, you know, he says, I'm going out there later tonight. I'm gonna get an opponent.
He's the voice of reason.
Yeah. Right. So, you know, there was a backstage segment later in the night where Ryback comes up, and Daniel Bryan says, you know what, dude, I don't care. I don't care if you're Ryback. I don't care if you're bigger than me. I'm Daniel Bryan, and I'll beat you tonight. So they wind up setting a match up. It's Daniel Bryan against Ryback for later in the night, and Daniel Bryan, of course, wound up losing that later on. That was a really good match, by the way. Daniel Bryan and Ryback on Raw last night.
If anybody's getting a good match out of Ryback, it's Daniel Bryan.
Exactly.
No surprise there.
Exactly. We let's see. We had the Usos came out with a brand new look. There are plans, as we put up on the website today. They're really planning to push the Uso brothers. They're going to be eventually they're going to be in a feud with the Shield. They're going to have to come up with another member. Obviously, it'll be like Team Hell No and Randy Orton. It'll be the Usos and somebody else against the Shield. But they've got to build them up first, and the beginning of that was last night on Raw. They came out with the new entrance and you know, the face paint and everything else. So they are going to push the Usos. What else have we had? Big E Langston against Alberto Del Rio. God, they've done this week after week after week, man. It seems like they do it on Raw, they do it on SmackDown. And the reason for that is, you know, Dolph Ziggler is out with a concussion, so they're basically stalling until Ziggler is ready to come back. Ziggler was cleared yesterday.
That was the other thing I was going to ask you. Like, it's a couple weeks ago, Ziggler or CM Punk, and they're two of the top stars. How much do you feel they're absent in a 3-hour Raw? I mean, is it noticeable? Like, do they have enough shit so they can make up for it, or is it like, God damn, this show's really lacking without two of their top names like that? Since the roster isn't that deep, you know what I mean?
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty!
Yeah!
I gotta play the other one, the bitch one.
Which I got a couple bitch ones.
To say the least, the Raw is something you're not undisputed champion, so shut up, bitch! Just bring it, bitch!
That's the one, all right.
That's the one? You like that one? All right, no doubt.
Yeah. Shut up, bitch!
There's
Just bring it, bitch!
And then I got what other CM Punk? I got the Jerry. This is awesome.
You have a vagina!
I got this one.
You know your damn role and shut your damn mouth. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. All right. Let's see. What else happened on Raw last night? So the Biggie Langston and Del Rio, basically they're stalling for Ziggler, like I said earlier. And Ziggler was, underwent medical test yesterday at Raw. The results didn't come back until late last night, but he's ready to go. He's cleared to return. So see if they bring him back on SmackDown tonight. We had Sheamus and Cody Rhodes. Sheamus won with the Bro Kick. Damian Sandow was great on commentary here. That was good stuff. And then after it was over, Sandow tried to avoid a fight with Sheamus, and eventually wound up, Sheamus went to shake his hand, and Sheamus wound up knocking him out.
I'm a huge fan of Damian Sandow.
Are you? Yeah.
How can you not love that guy?
Yeah, he's growing on me a little bit, man. I didn't like him at first, but he's growing.
Damian Sandow. The motherfucker is hilarious.
We had Fandango against Great Khali.
What are you drinking over there? I could hear that. You just had your face in a cup.
No, it's water, brother. I got ice water here.
All right.
Yeah. We had Miz and Wade Barrett. There wasn't much to that. We had the contract signing. The whole point here, God, man, Chris Jericho's out there, right? He's cutting a promo saying, we can do the match at Payback. We can do it in, we can
they
do
were
it.
arguing because it's in CM Punk's hometown of Chicago. So he said, let's do it in Madison Square Garden. Let's do it at SummerSlam in Los Angeles. Let's do it here. Let's do it. And Heyman just kept saying no.
Right, and then it got weird where Heyman signs the contract, right, and then Jericho is like,
nuts or whatever?
yeah, but before he did it, he's like, all right, I got a place for this contract, Paul. First, what I want you to do is unbutton your jacket, and then he was like, unbutton your shirt, and I'm thinking, where are you going? Unzip your fly, Paul. Undo your belt, Paul. Take off your pants, Paul. I'm thinking, where the fuck is this going right now? So anyways, he winds up...
Heyman listening.
All right, so he winds up...
You're blue in the face to take my pants off in a ring in front of 20,000 people.
Right.
No, I'm not doing that.
What do you got, call waiting over there? Did I hear some call waiting?
Of course.
Yeah, no doubt. During a live radio, it happens every week, right? I get text messages, yeah. So anyways, he winds up sticking the contract down Paul Heyman's pants, and that was the end of the segment. It was kind of weird. We had AJ and the Bella Twins against Caitlyn and the Funkadactyls. What was up with Caitlyn, right? Caitlyn normally comes to the ring. She's all woo-woo. She does the, it's like a classic Trish Stratus entrance where she comes out and she raises her title belt, and then she gets up and she gets on all the corners and everything else, right? Anybody notice that last night where Caitlyn did this slow walk to the ring, and then when she got in the ring, she didn't go up to any of the corners like she normally does. It was completely different than what we've seen in the past. It was almost like somebody told her to tone it down a little bit. Like, don't try to be identical to Trish Stratus. It was way different. It was just something stupid that I noticed last night. Somebody, Ranjit in the chat, you noticed it, right? She was real.
Yeah, look at it. He gets this one defender. He's like, see, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, of course.
Anybody else in the chat? Wait a minute. Anybody else in the chat room noticed that when Caitlyn walked to the ring last night? She was, you know what I mean? Anybody?
That's a conspiracy theory, and ain't nobody got time for that.
Nobody was looking close enough. I got my one supporter. Ranjit's good enough for me.
There you go. 1 out of 10 trillion ain't bad.
There's a couple more. Jerichoholic and the big fan of what?
You'll wait to see every last one person that agrees with you too. Look at him.
WZR Rebel.
Oh, there's still some people who haven't said
Wait a minute.
Yet. Maybe.
You know what? I'm gonna take my man Curtis. My man Curtis is calling back. We can get the phone calls now, right? Let me get him back on. He sound like a nice guy, man. He hung up. See, now I got him nervous, man. He doesn't want to call. Curtis, we're ready for you, brother. Call up. We're ready. We're gonna take your phone call. We gotta get Curtis first, though. I want to give Curtis the opportunity. Here he is. Curtis, my man. What's up, brother?
Sorry about that before, guys. Had no idea.
Oh, it's all right, brother. It's all right. What you got going on? Hey, do me a favor. Turn the
better be sorry.
turn the speakers down real quick, man.
I got no speakers.
Oh, all right, no doubt. You're good to go then. We're ready.
Don't you feel stupid, Ryan?
Oh,
I'm gonna hit you with something really quick, real quick off the bat, and I want your honest opinion. Now, I went to the WWE house show in Poughkeepsie on Sunday.
yeah.
And this is the first time I got to see the Shield live.
Mhm.
Okay, I tell you, these guys, they're good performers. They really are. They really get the crowd into it. My question to you is, how long do you think it's going to be before we start seeing them compared to, say, Evolution, the Four Horsemen, other big, shall we say, super groups? And granted, the guys aren't around all that long, but they're getting a major push. I mean, they got the U.S. title, they got the tag team titles.
Yeah.
Obviously, they got potential. How long do you think it's going to be before they start going down as one of the big super groups?
You know, it all depends. I mean, listen, it all depends on where WWE goes with it. As of right now, they're doing everything right. They haven't lost a match yet, right? They've got all the titles pretty much right now, the tag team belts and the U.S. title. You know what I mean? I think they're well on their way. And hopefully they keep them as a group for months to come. I mean, they're fairly new. What are you gonna say, Boone?
That's the key. It's how long they keep them together. Now, if they're not together as a group long enough to establish group identity, they're never going to be compared to or achieve the success of a Four Horsemen or Evolution even. And it seems WWE so quick to jump the gun these days, especially with somebody as talented as Dean Ambrose shining as brightly as he is right now. They might really want to jump the gun and just split him up and have him go solo. But if they keep them together, I think it's inevitable that they'll be considered as good or better than some of those groups he named.
And one last thing, Curtis. I usually normally I go. I mean, WWE was up here. Basically, they were in Glens Falls on Friday night.
Why did you go?
I was gonna go up there, but it was only a house show. And then normally I go down. I love Poughkeepsie. I think Poughkeepsie's a great. It's just a small little city. Right, and the arena down there, the Mid Hudson Civic Center. There's so much wrestling history, especially ECW used to run pay-per-views and things, pay-per-views and house shows back in the day down in Poughkeepsie. Love that place, brother. It's an awesome place.
Well, didn't do a lot of TV tapings there years ago?
Yeah, no, they used to do it, man. I mean, it's such a small. I mean, if you guys were, I mean, the Mid Hudson Civic Center, it looks like. I mean, the ceiling is probably what, maybe 20 or 30 feet up, right? I mean, it doesn't look like an arena. It looks like a high school gym, to be honest with you, with the bleachers in the back. They've got the bleachers in the back, and then the chairs on the floor. They've even got the stage up on. There's like a stage on one end, and then bleachers on the other end. It really looks like a high school gym, but
that's where we went to the ECW show, right?
Yeah, right in Poughkeepsie, man.
Yeah, where they have it's like the AstroTurf, the fake AstroTurf on the ground on the floor or whatever, and
right. They take it.
Bleacher seating on the right.
Yeah, they normally. I think they take it off for WWE house shows, but I love Poughkeepsie,
man. I
remember
going to WWE Raw live at the Westchester County Center in White Plains. You want to talk about another? I mean, that place. I mean, you don't have so much bleachers, but you got the nosebleed, you got the seats on the floor.
Right.
But, they always put on a good show.
Right.
Always, and they always filled that place.
Yeah. It's just I love the Mid Hudson Civic Center just because of the atmosphere. It's like a high school gym, but WWE continues to run there. It's awesome, man. Thanks.
Well, you got to remember the Northeast. That's their market. So I mean, especially back in the day, you're talking about when they used to film TV there a lot, because they would have to go to the places that they could be sure they were going to sell tickets. And the Northeast was always, especially New York, anywhere up there, they were going to sell tickets.
Right. Curtis, thanks.
Ryan, one last question, bro.
Yes, sir.
Pick'em time. Who's going to be champion first, Ryback or Joe Henning, a.k.a. Mike McGillicuddy, a.k.a. Curtis Axel? Who's going to put a belt around their waist first?
Any belt or
No, I'm talking about the heavyweight championship. Right now, they're pushing Curtis Axel. I mean, the guy's got a bloodline.
Yeah.
He's the third generation. Ryback, to be perfectly honest, he's starting to bore me.
I think I would say just due to the look, and I know what they're doing with Curtis Axel. I'm gonna go Ryback just because of the look, but I know what you're saying with Curtis Axel. And
I think it might be too late for Ryback. Now they could give him the belt to try and revive him and get him kickstarted again. That could be a scenario that could play out. But like he was saying, I think it might be too late for Ryback. But you never know.
Yeah.
I would say 3 stages of hell. I don't see him getting it, to be perfectly honest.
Right.
If he doesn't win the payback, they're not going to give it to him.
Curtis.
That's just my opinion.
Curtis, thank you for the call, brother. I appreciate it. Love Poughkeepsie. Represent down there.
All right, guys. You take care. Have a great night. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. Be good, man. That's Curtis, right? Curtis is a good guy, man.
Curtis.
He's a good guy.
Serious.
He's a good guy, and he had some good questions, man. So I'm glad that he called back, man. He's a good guy. See, you treat people nice, Boone. They call back, and they turn out to be good people. You know what I'm saying?
You say I'm nice. You treat me like a big piece of shit.
I did not. I was nice about it.
You yelled at him like you was a little kid.
I didn't yell at him. I was nice about it. See, I'm telling you, you're the definition of yelling. Oh, get out of here. Anyways, if you want to take live phone calls, let's finish up Raw. Then we'll get into rapid. Oh, we had the Wyatt family. They aired another vignette. You know what? People are asking me. People are already asking me on Facebook last night. The Wyatt family. They're gonna debut tonight. Listen, if they start airing vignettes, you know that you got about a month.
Weeks at least.
You got about a month, man. You got about 3 or 4 weeks. They're probably not gonna debut next week. You're gonna see another vignette and probably one more the week after. Then you'll wind up seeing them. I know everybody wants them. You want them right now. You want them next week. They're gonna air the vignettes. They're gonna hype them up, and then eventually they're gonna wind up debuting. They'll be here soon enough, but it's gonna be a couple more weeks before we see them. Daniel Bryan and Ryback, talked about this earlier. Daniel Bryan actually picked up the win here. It was via DQ, as Ryback, set up a table, right? And as he set up the table, John Cena came out and wound up putting him through it. And then with John Cena already out there, Curtis Axel's music hit, and then we had our main event of Curtis Axel and John Cena. Take one more phone call, and then we'll run down the main event. Get in the rapid fire. I'm losing my voice. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up? Never know what you're going to get with unknown phone calls. I never want to pick them up because you never know. All right, anyway, finish up Monday Night Raw. Curtis Axel and John Cena. Once again, Curtis Axel picks up another win, right? You had Triple H week 1. You had John Cena week 2. Gets a win over both of them, but not a clean win, right? And then once again, last night, Ryback gets another win, but Ryback came out and put John Cena through a table that was on the outside.
Ryback or Axel?
No, Ryback wound up coming out here. I said... The last match, I said that I fucked up the last match, but Ryback wound up coming back out here, right, and put John Cena through a table. So the referee did a 10 count. John Cena was counted out. Curtis Axel winds up winning the match. Not clean, not like a 1, 2, 3. Same thing with Triple H and John Cena the week before, where he winds up winning these matches, but not with a 1, 2, 3 count. You know what I mean? So Raw goes off the air with Ryback. John Cena's been put through a table, and Ryback's kind of right in his face saying, at WWE Payback, Ryback rules, and that's how Raw goes off the air last night. So that was it.
Sounds like there was enough shit on there that overall it could be considered at least a good show. I mean, you had the McMahon stuff, you had the Jericho Heyman stuff sounded good, you had some Ryback shit, some Shield shit. I mean, you had all the elements of a good show. I don't really see it though, so.
Yeah, it was a decent Raw. The first hour was great. The whole thing with Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Vince McMahon, especially the backstage segment in the room where Triple H was face to face with Vince, and Vince said, "You're not going out there. You're not going to wrestle tonight." And Triple H said, "What are you going to do about it? Who's going to stop me?" or something like that. And Vince.
It was front heavy. It started off strong and then started lagging in the middle and the end there.
It started lagging in the middle and then it came back towards the end. You know what I mean? Daniel Bryan was the star of the show. Yeah, it was a decent Raw last night. Give him props. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
I just wanted to talk about that huge King Mo signing with TNA.
You're talking about Quentin Rampage Jackson. King Mo's already been there.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry about that. But my question had to be with that. Like, do you think they signed Rampage because King Mo got knocked out?
I think they signed Rampage because they were able to sign Rampage. I mean, anybody would be a fool not to sign Rampage if they could.
What I mean by that is, that big push they had behind Mo. This badass, basically. and he gets knocked out in his second match.
You know what I think? I think it has more to do with Bellator, where Bellator is a legit MMA company, right? And Bellator is, of course they want to be able to compete with UFC, right? So they bring in King Mo, and Quentin Rampage Jackson becomes a free agent. I think TNA is it's kind of an extra add-on, if you will, where
exactly it.
Bellator is the main, they want big names in Bellator for MMA, and then TNA is an extra add-on where it's cross promotion. So the real story here is Rampage and Bellator. What are you gonna say, Boone?
You hit all this. It's story starts with Rampage. He does not want to fight in UFC. Doesn't like it there. So where's he gonna fight? All there is Bellator. Then it becomes a deal where Bellator signs Rampage, and while they've got him, they might as well cross-promote with TNA, so it doesn't hurt TNA to use him as well. Maybe it doesn't help them, you could argue that, but it doesn't hurt them, and it cross-promotes Bellator and TNA, which are both Spike TV properties. So it makes perfect sense across the board, but like you said, it starts with Rampage. If he didn't need a place to go, they wouldn't be out to, try and sign it because King Mo got knocked out. You know?
Right. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, this is Chad. Hey, guys.
How you doing? The only
question I had for you guys was, now that Sting has lost at Summerversary and he's done, and you can't challenge for the World Heavyweight title anymore, and I heard that his contract is up probably in January or early February. Is this the year that he's going to jump over to WWE and join the Hall of Fame and possibly wrestle at WrestleMania 30?
You know what, man? Every year Sting says, and Sting even said this. He says it numerous times in interviews where every year he says, "This is it, man. This is it. I'm done after this." And Dixie Carter is somehow able to convince him to re-sign for another year. Sting is happy in TNA, and he recently came out and said never say never. They asked him about a match with The Undertaker, and he said never say never, and that led people to believe that maybe we'll get a Sting versus Undertaker match someday, and it's possible.
I would shit in my pants. That's one of the last things in wrestling that could really shock me, is if Sting, after all these years, finally went to WWE. He's the only guy that didn't. The only guy that didn't since the '80s. You know what I mean? You can name anybody, and they've went to New York at one point or another. He's the only guy that didn't do it, and he was one of the main guys of that entire era, the last several eras. So if he finally went this late in his career and actually did it, it was against the Undertaker no less. They did a whole Mania, so that would be crazy. I would be fucking shocked.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, Ryan, it's Stephen Grabeck in the chat room.
Oh, boy. Give me a joke.
I'm going to post it in the chat room, actually.
Okay.
See what you say.
Okay.
All right, buddy. And, by the way, buddy, I just wanted to say thank you for all the news you guys post and all that. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
No, not you guys. Fuck Boone. Boone don't do shit, man. I do galleries. I do the news. Fuck Boone. Get out of here. All right, put your joke out. What is it? A bad joke? What are you afraid to say it live on air? What's the deal? What do you got going on here, bro? You getting something's up?
Why is he writing it? I gotta see what it is. You gotta have to get to this joke.
Yeah, something's up. Something's up. All right, no doubt. One call while we wait. Caller.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'm very curious about this now. What's going
All
on?
right, wait. Caller. Give me 1 second. Why didn't the melons get married? Because they cantaloupe. Because they cantaloupe.
Oh. They can't elope. Oh, jeez.
Why? What the fuck, man? Whatever, dude. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, I got two questions.
Sure.
One, it's not really a question, but you know the Vince McMahon Triple H segment when they were in the back face to face or whatever?
When who was in the back face to face?
Triple H and Vince McMahon when they were face to face.
Yeah, last night on Raw.
Yeah, do you remember Vince said something about how you're gonna obey this rules or else, and then he hit him with a piece of paper, right, and then left. Do you think that piece of paper was the change in script, and then Triple H read it and got pissed, and then left?
No, it was all scripted, man. I mean, Vince basically had a piece of paper in hand and said, "Don't do something you're gonna regret," and then walked out of the room. Was it the Raw script? Yeah, it might have been the Raw. It could have been any piece of paper, but
I was kind of joking, but I guess it wasn't that funny. And then the second one there's like a scenario where it's like it's gonna be like the what's it called, CM Punk and Chris Jericho thing. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so basically at Payback, right? Yeah, Payback. All right, basically at Payback, it's gonna be like CM Punk's gonna be pissed. He's like, oh, he took me on my vacation, yada yada yada. He's gonna come back. He's gonna either lose or win. I don't know yet, but he's gonna either lose or win. And then at the end, he's gonna like shake Chris Jericho's hand or hug Chris Jericho, and Paul Heyman's gonna be pissed off about that because he feels like maybe he betrayed him. And then that's Brock Lesnar or Curtis Axel attacking both of them. I don't know.
Did you hear what I said earlier? Were you listening? Or I mean, this is what I said. CM Punk's gonna come back at Payback, right? You're gonna do a match. It's gonna be CM Punk and Chris Jericho. Punk's gonna get pissed off at Paul Heyman and say, "What are you doing? You don't make matches for me. Who do you think you are?" Punk's gonna wind up turning. He's already gonna be a babyface in Chicago as it is, right? His hometown. He's already gonna be a babyface. He's gonna wind up turning on Paul Heyman. All right, and then the following.
I think he loses, by the way.
Right.
He loses to Jericho.
Right, and then the final night on Raw, it doesn't matter because Jericho's going to go into another feud anyways. The next night on Raw, Paul Heyman's going to come out. They're going to set up a match between CM Punk and Curtis Axel. That'll take place, one of Paul Heyman's clients, right? CM Punk and Curtis Axel. That'll take place at Money in the Bank. Curtis Axel will be the heel. CM Punk. Wait a minute, Boom. Wait a minute. CM Punk will be the All right, wait a minute. CM Punk will be the babyface. Curtis Axel will be the heel. That's Money in the Bank. Then SummerSlam, Paul Heyman's other client, Brock Lesnar, they'll do the big match at SummerSlam with Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. Now, what do you want to say, Boone?
You're completely wrong. There's no way that's the course of action. I mean, he's going to come back, and he's going to lose to Jericho, so he can turn on Paul, and be like, "You motherfucker, you had me come back early, and look what happened."
Why does he have to lose to Jericho?
See, I just told you why. You're not listening, dickhead. I said he's going to be able to fucking be mad at Paul Heyman for bringing him back too early. That's how you set that up. He loses, and he's like, hey, you brought me back too early, and I just fucking lost because of it. And then he turns babyface. Anyways, even if he doesn't lose, that's not important. What happens is you can't go straight to Curtis Axel because then you're beating Axel. He has to go over if he's going to, go against Axel. He can't be beating Axel already, can you? You gotta have a couple wins. I can't believe you're a monotone caller who's fucking on the microphone also like this the whole fucking time. You jeopardy him.
Come on, man. It's 9:51. We got 9 minutes left. We haven't even got to the rapid fire, and I hadn't played the Jeopardy theme yet. I had to get in there at one point. I had to get it in there at one point, brother. Come on. You brought up a good point. What's your point again? I wasn't listening. I heard the Jeopardy theme.
My point is I need a soundboard so I can play Jeopardy on you. No, my point was you can't beat Curtis Axel this early into his run in WWE. I mean, they're putting him over like the guy that never loses. John Cena twice, Triple H once.
Yeah, but he never wins clean.
You can't have him losing to CM Punk on pay-per-view already, so that doesn't make any sense if they would do what you said.
Yeah, but that's months from now. I mean, Money in the Bank, it's going to be Curtis Axel and CM Punk, right? Curtis Axel won't.
What is Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank's after Payback. That's two.
Exactly.
That's 2 months.
You can't have him lose already. That's crazy.
That's 2 months from now. It's 2 months, man.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
People got time for it, dude. It's 2 months away. The dude's not gonna go.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
What do you think? He's gonna go on like a 6-month streak of no losing?
Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time.
He hasn't even won a match clean yet, let alone fucking a winning streak. Get out of here, dude. All right, rapid fire. You ready? We gotta do these quick, bro. We got 8 minutes. If you want to get out of here on time, it's got to be like yes or no tonight. You know what I'm saying? Mac McCord, do you think Rampage versus Angle will happen in TNA? And answer your damn forums email, bro. I checked my email there. I didn't get anything from me. Rampage versus Angle in TNA.
No.
Yes, it will. Rampage and Angle, yeah, no doubt. Arturo Velasquez Jr., when do you see Brock Lesnar returning? SummerSlam.
Yes.
Glenn Tyler Devilier. Ryan, do you see the brand extension coming back considering all the talent they have coming into WWE from NXT? No.
No.
And that's it. You gotta keep them one line. Anthony Remy. Now what for WWE with the low ratings? Now what? It's the same. When ratings are low, they usually pull a big angle. Nothing you can do. Ratings are low. People aren't tuning in. Do something big.
Yes.
Ranjit Kahal. Not a question, but if people are interested, they can join the chat room on Monday nights before Raw at WZROnline.com/chat. Last night, myself, Glenn, Nielsen, and Rygax were in there. Monday nights during Raw, WZROnline.com/chat. Do it. Get people in there. Monday Night Raw chat.
Yes.
Ted Palatasas, D-Bry's on fire. Any chance you see him winning the Raw Money in the Bank? Only 40 days away. Can't wait. I'll be there. One more.
No.
You see Mike Chioda getting a push. Mike Chioda getting a push. Mike Chioda is a referee. No.
No.
Money in the Bank. Daniel Bryan winning Money in the Bank? Yes, because he says yes all the time. Sergio Cardenas, Ryan and Boone 2013. He says yes. People, yes. No. Ryan and Boone 2013 WZR Radio Fantasy Football League. Spots are waiting for you to join ASAP. I'm in.
I'm not.
Dean Mitchell, thanks for the shout-outs, Clark. And will Clark's Unbelievables and Boone's 2-second shits be joining the WZR NFL League? Sure.
No.
David Zarbarski, how will they get Curtis Axel over if they keep giving him count-out wins? He's still winning.
Yes.
Mark Mavey, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yes.
Reginald Jackson Helton. What do you see the future for Mickie James, seeing she's trying a heel turn and the Knockouts division? What about The Undertaker? SummerSlam? Possibly at SummerSlam. Mickie James, it's the Knockouts. You know, we'll see what happens. I mean, right now they're doing Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim and Velvet Sky, and we'll see what happens with Mickie. I mean, she's champion, right? So we'll see. No, Gail Kim's champion. No. She's Mickie James. Who's TNA Knockouts champion, guys? Mickie James?
Yes.
Yeah, she is. She won it from Velvet last week on Impact, or the week before on Impact.
I wish I could do a whole show where I just said yes or no. This is fun.
Well, you're getting annoying, but anyways, Anthony Remy, when will Boone give up on kicking people's ass in 2 seconds? Would love to see if he can really kick someone's ass in 2 seconds. Tim Krieger, the 6-man tag team match on Impact, was booked with Doc and not Anderson, even though they put Anderson on the promo graphic. Any idea why they switched? Not sure, man.
No.
Jordan the Champ Paveo, when is Christian going to return? Sooner than later, man. He's ready to go. They just need to come up with a storyline angle for him. Thomas Suska, Christian versus Bryan with a heel turn at SummerSlam, with a heel Christian at SummerSlam. Christian versus Daniel Bryan, heel Christian at SummerSlam. Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds good.
I like it.
Reginald, we already took you, man. James Lehman, plans for Daniel Bryan. Probably a heel turn. Looks that way. Vincent Nugent, what do you think about Todd Kennelly being dropped off the broadcast team? God, if anybody should have been Taz. Can't stand Taz on commentary, but he's playing the Aces and Eights gimmick that he's got, the leader, whatever he is, of the Aces and Eights. Basically playing an Aces and Eights character, but sucks that he's being taken off. Vincent Nugent, already took you. Anthony Remy, Game 7 last night, drew an 11.5 rating. That's huge. Jerian O. Barrentos, is Daniel Bryan turning heel and getting a singles push? Looks that way. Tim, already took you. Oliver Summer, does Fandango run the risk of becoming another joke comedy act? Already pretty much is. Ted.
Did you say Fandango?
Fandango. Ted.
Oh, gee.
Yes. Ted Palastas, or whatever. Who wins in a fight, Batman or Fandango?
Me.
Batman. Tim Krieger. Okay, we already got you, man. This is my last question. Why so many 6-man tag team matches? You'd have to ask WWE's creative team, brother. Vinny Mo, DJ Ryan, can you play the Wyatt theme song? I sure can. We can end that for you. Because, you know what? We got a couple more minutes left. So, those phone calls that I just missed, you got 3 minutes to call back. 518-712-3070. 518-712-3070. If we missed you while I was doing the rapid fire, you call back right now.
Yeah, this is what fucking Barack Obama calls in and extends the show 40 minutes.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Oh, yeah, girl.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Are you having sex? What are you doing?
I think he's jerking off.
Is he?
Oh, my God.
To our voices?
Go ahead, big boy. Go ahead.
Get it! Get it, bro!
Get it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, get it, brother. Get it. Get it.
Yeah, brother. I got your back, Jack.
Oh, yeah. Get it, brother. Get it.
Hey, yo. Hey.
Fuck out of here. 518-712-307. God, we got people jacking off, calling live.
I'm
What the fuck?
Later, so we can have gay phone sex here right before I go to fucking eat some dinner here.
Gay phone sex on WZR. What the
You're
fuck?
over there, you're helping dude get off and shit. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Oh, I'm just egging him on, dude. I'm not watching him, dude. I don't know what the fuck he's doing over there, dude. Sounded like he was enjoying himself, right? What the fuck, man? All right, we're out of here. That does it, right? We got 1 minute. 518-712-3070. Nobody else? You got 1 minute to call. 518-712-3070. Thanks to everybody that came out in the live chat room tonight. You guys are the best. Submit feedback. Tell them how they can submit feedback, Matty Boone.
You can submit feedback by going to facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Once you get there, the post will already be up on the site, and it'll ask you for your feedback on tonight's show. You let us know what you liked, we'll do more of it. You let us know what you didn't like, we'll do less of it. This is how we get better. Facebook.com/Ryan Clark WZR. Get your lazy ass over there, you punk son of a bitch.
Monday nights.
Fuck you, punk! I'll fuck you! I'll fuck your sister, but not your wife, because I respect your wife.
Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, Ryan Clark. It's Smack Me Show for your admin from PWS Forums.
What's up, brother?
Missed the shout-out this week.
I was gonna do, you know what I was gonna do before we went?
You were.
Nah, well, man, what I was gonna do before we went off the air, I was gonna say pwsforums.com. I sure was.
I was making sure. Check your damn email.
I will do, brother. I'll do it. I checked my email. All right. Thanks for the for the hard work, brother. Bye. Later. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up? Quick. No, nothing. We're out of here. That does it. See you next Tuesday night. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio. What's up?
Hey, did you guys see Daniel Bryan join the Wyatt family since he had the beard already and the goat face that looks like the mask they had?
I don't think so, but possibly. I mean, they are. It looks like
the beard does match.
The beard does match. So check out pwsforums.com. My boy, the Mac, in the chat room does a hell of a job over there. That'll do it. We'll see you next Tuesday night, same place, same time, for Matt Boone.
That's me.
This is Ryan Clark.
That's him.
Saying see you next Tuesday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Time on WZROnline.com.